Today we're going to explore Iceland's approach to sex life, located in northwestern Europe, between Greenland and Norway. This small country is known for its liberal culture, especially when it comes to intimate relationships. Subscribe to our channel and leave a like. In Iceland, nudism is highly appreciated, which may surprise people from other nations and cultures. Icelanders find it curious that people of other nationalities are so shy about showing their nudity and engaging in casual sex. In Icelandic culture, it is considered normal and accepted for men and women to talk openly about their sexual relationships, and nudity is discussed without any embarrassment, allowing for frank and uninhibited expression. Did you know this disturbing fact about Iceland? Iceland is widely recognized as a fascinating destination where you can explore stunning and unique landscapes filled with volcanoes, glaciers, and a variety of natural wildlife, such as horses and sheep, that are truly appreciated by the locals. Without a doubt, this country is among the most beautiful and impressive in the world. A notable example of its natural beauty is the Skogafoss waterfall, which stands out for its grandeur and charm, surrounded by lush green meadows in summer and covered in snow in winter. It stretches 25 meters wide and reaches an impressive height of 60 meters. There is a legend surrounding this waterfall, which tells the story that the first Vikings in the region hid treasures in caves beneath its waters. In addition, Icelandic culture has a very relaxed view on romantic relationships. Spending a fun night out with a man or woman is considered perfectly normal for Icelanders. Courtship between men and women is something peculiar that only an Icelander can understand. Both men and women in Iceland are extremely liberal when it comes to these matters. There's no need to go through a series of dates before having sex. In some cases, it's even considered favorable that it's one of the first things to happen, allowing the couple to assess their chemistry. In Iceland, women are very empowered and take the initiative in various areas. It is common to witness women occupying prominent positions in family businesses, while their husbands play secondary roles. In the workplace, they may have a similar status or even be the ones with the highest level of responsibility. Unlike many countries in the world, where men are expected to take leadership and women are rarely seen in leadership positions, the situation in Iceland is completely different. Women take an active role in running family businesses, while their husbands take on lesser roles. In addition, in professional settings, they may enjoy a similar status or even hold positions of greater responsibility. Norse culture, including Iceland, has historical explanations for sexual freedom that can be traced back to the country's first inhabitants, the Vikings. The Vikings had an open stance towards sexuality that included the practice of premarital sex and gave women the power to decide on marriage and divorce. These cultural characteristics, which are still found in Iceland and other Nordic countries, are rooted in the historical beliefs and practices of the Vikings. Viking culture had an uninhibited view of sex, and premarital sex was common. Viking women were allowed to take a test to assess sexual compatibility with their future husband. If the man did not pass this test, the woman had the right to choose not to marry him. In addition, Viking women could marry from the age of 15, often to considerably older men. While families may have been involved in deciding marriages, women always had the final say. Nordic culture, including Iceland, has a history that encompasses rights related to divorce and land inheritance for women. In the early days of the Viking Age, extramarital affairs were allowed, but later became punishable offenses, resulting in the death of both parties involved. The sexuality of her lovers is often mentioned in the Icelandic sagas, describing settlements in Iceland in the 10th and 11th centuries. In 1777, smallpox had a devastating impact on the Icelandic population, resulting in the deaths of approximately 12,000 people, about a quarter of the population. During that time, Iceland was part of the Kingdom of Denmark, and the Danish king ordered that all Icelandic women, married or not, have 6 children. Although it may seem unfair, violent, or shameful by today's standards, in times of crisis, this measure was deemed necessary to ensure the survival of the Icelandic people. Currently, the concept of traditional dating can be awkward for Icelanders. What Icelanders like the most is meeting men or women in party bars or through dating apps, and then deciding if they want to continue a relationship after meeting in one of their homes. An indication of women's equal rights and independence in Iceland is their position in universities and parliament. In higher education institutions, there are approximately 2 students for every student, while in Parliament, about 50% of the representatives are women. When it comes to beliefs, Icelanders don't believe that only men have sex drive. It is considered acceptable and normal for women to have sexual desires and be able to express them confidently. In Iceland, women do not hesitate to express their sexual intentions. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Those who express themselves openly are seen as strong, capable, and happy with themselves. Icelanders don't idealize romantic love and don't practice it as much. The cold winter weather is not as extreme as in other countries. However, severe storms with high winds and snowstorms are also common. Shortly after the first settlements, one of the largest volcanic eruptions in Iceland's history occurred. The Elja volcano released lava and gases that reached Europe, and even reached China. About 70% of children in Iceland are born to single parents, separated families, or divorced couples. It's considered normal to eat meat for lunch and keep in touch with ex-spouses or current partners. There is no clear notion of completely broken relationships in Iceland. Another cultural aspect that may come as a surprise is the attitude towards nudity. Taking a naked bath is not considered a sexual act. Experiencing it is something that can be done in safe, secluded hot springs, where there are no other people around. Even if an Icelander passes by, it is unlikely to be considered scandalous. It's a way to connect with nature and embrace the human essence. Iceland is known for its hot springs that are found throughout the country, offering ideal temperatures for relaxing baths. However, it is important to check the temperature of the water before entering, as some hot springs can have high temperatures. One of the most famous and memorable places to visit in Iceland is the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a spa with a heated artificial lagoon, open all year round, which allows you to enjoy a warm and relaxing bath even when the weather outside is quite cold. It should be noted that in spas and public swimming pools, it is common to find nudity, naturally accepted in these places. And you like spas? An interesting curiosity about Iceland is that, due to its relatively small population, there is a system to check if two people with similar backgrounds are interested in having children or falling in love. This shows the concern to maintain a united union. In Iceland, community and cultural tradition-preserving measures are taken to prevent problems related to genetic diseases in children in the future. People often meet through dating apps or social media and strike up virtual conversations before meeting in person. It's also common to meet in bars, at work, at the gym, or at college. Iceland is recognized as one of the best places in the world for women. About 90% of women work and also play active roles in the country's politics. Iceland's first democratically elected female president, Vigdís Finnbogadóttir, held office from 1980 to 1996. While Iceland is renowned for its open and positive attitude towards sex and nudity, it is crucial to understand that the country's inhabitants do not wish this perception to overshadow the cultural, historical, and natural richness that Iceland has to offer. Icelanders deeply value their natural environment, heritage, and the traditions that make up the essence of their national identity. Therefore, when visiting Iceland, visitors are encouraged to take a more holistic view, exploring the volcanic landscapes, stunning waterfalls, vast lava fields, and natural hot springs that make this country a unique place in the world. The invitation is to immerse yourself in the Icelandic experience, which encompasses much more than freedom in the expression of sexuality and nudity. It is a call to connect with nature, appreciate beauty in its purest state, and respect local customs and lifestyle. Remember, all of our videos are free, and your support motivates us to keep creating quality content. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and we can't wait to welcome you back in our next installment.